In the low flow circuit bag, there's the cartridge, and then there's also the tubing, which connects a bag of sterile water to the cartridge to allow humidification. We'll also need the nasal cannulae to deliver the oxygen, and then the stickers and tape in order to attach the nasal cannulae to the child.
Okay, so this is the Vapotherm machine. We've got two in the department. One's kept in paediatrics in one of the HDU bays, usually bay 14, and then there should be one in resus, usually in bay 1 of resus. First of all, you need to plug it into the power point, and you'll see the display comes on, and then you need to attach the oxygen and air. First of all, you need to push back the black cylinder and pull off the low flow meter. You'll see there's a little notch in the top of the tubing that needs to line up at 12 o'clock. And then you just push that in and it will lock. And the same for the oxygen. So now we need to set up the actual cartridge. First of all, we need to take the 4 rubber plugs off the cartridge and then line that up with the 4 pegs in the holes on the water path. Firmly push those into place, and then the cartridge is now installed and ready. Next, we need to attach the Vapotherm tubing to this equipment. So again, you need to line up the latches. There's 2 spacers, and then they need to be lined up and firmly pushed in together. So now the unit is assembled, ready to put into the machine. You need to line up the metal strip on the cartridge with the metal strip in the unit, and this will slide in vertically and you'll hear a click. It's all installed and ready to go. Next, we need to attach the water. It's really important to make sure the water is clamped shut at the white clamp, and then you need to pierce the sterile water bag, holding it upside down. Once you've pierced the bag, hang this onto the drip stand and then open the clamp and let the water flow through.
So when you look at the Vapotherm machine, this is the display you'll have. The low demonstrates the cartridge that's in there, which shows us it's a low flow cartridge. This is a cartridge that allows flows of up to 8 litres per minute. The 3 factors that you can control and the settings you can adjust are the litres per minute, which is the flow rate, the oxygen concentration, and the temperature of the humidification. If you wish to change this, you press the centre button until the display you want to change is flashing. You can then dial up the number that you require. It will go up to 8 because it's a low flow circuit at the moment. The initial one to start with is 5 litres per minute. We calculate that by going at 1 litre per kilo per minute. So in a 5 kilo baby, for example, it would be 5 litres per minute. In a 7 kilo baby, it would be 7 litres per minute. The lowest you can go is 5. So that means in a 3 kilo baby, for example, you would still start at 5. So it's 1 litre per kilo per minute with a minimum of 5. The maximum that we provide is 2 litres per kilo per minute. So an example in a 4 kilo baby would be a maximum of 8. This one will adjust our oxygen concentration. So we start all children on 40%. So again, we press in the centre and you dial up to 40%. Press it in and that's stored at 40%. This is now the temperature that's flashing, which means we can adjust the temperature. The optimum temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So at the moment we have the correct settings that we want. It's a solid amber light as the machine's on standby. To turn it on, we press and hold. You'll then hear the beeping, which is that the machine is turning on. That amber light will soon go to a green flashing light, and then when it's starting to work towards the temperature, it recognises that there's water flowing, and then it will start going green flashing. When the temperature has been reached, it will stop flashing and it will go a solid green colour. So now the green light's on, we know that we've got flow and it's the correct temperature. You can actually hear the flow coming through the circuit.
Okay, so now we need to attach the nasal cannula. So it's good to use some seal tape. We have 2 pieces. Stick them onto each cheek, and the tubing is going to be sandwiched between this and some Tegaderm tape. If you use a paediatric IV Tegaderm, what I will tend to do is cut the steri strips off and then just cut it in half. You might need some assistance depending on how wiggly your baby is. And then you're going to get your nasal cannula. You can see the curvature of the cannula will sit better one way on another. So it needs to be curving in towards the nostrils. Could I have some assistance? Would you mind helping to hold? And then we're just going to put the Tegaderms over the top there, just to secure the tubing into place, and again on the other side. You can loosen the tubing and then place that behind the back of baby's head. And at this point you want to attach the machine tubing to the nasal cannula. There's also a little clip just to stop it from slipping.
So our baby's now attached to the Vapotherm circuit. You can actually hear the humidified oxygen running. We can also see some of that condensation on the nasal cannulae. The nasal cannulae are usually quite comfortable for the baby because it's humidified oxygen that's running. You can see that those nasal cannulae are just sitting in the nostrils. They're not supposed to be a tight seal or occlude the nostril. They just should cover about 50% of the area of the nostril. And that's how you set up a Vapotherm circuit.